The question is now, who is watching you and what are they doing with what they see? The woke era was about controlling what you could say. And now the digital era that we are now in is about controlling what they want you to know. They want to also control what they know, what you know, what you look at, what you do, and where you go. The apparatus is being built right now, and it makes the last decade of cultural warfare look like a distraction or child's play. Data harvesting on a scale that would make Facebook blush, surveillance capabilities that aren't being discussed in any mainstream media outlet. Palantir and JD Vance, TPUSA. JD Vance has spoken at TPUSA. Peter Thiel has spoken at TPUSA. The merging of political organizing databases with defense intelligence infrastructure is here. And this is bipartisan, uniparty. If you don't, it's not left or right anymore, or it maybe never even has been. BLM stole from its donors. TPUSA appears to have enriched insiders, stolen data, or taken and harvested data willingly from people that just downloaded an app or scanned a QR code. That's how easy it is. Both sides of the political machine have organizations that use the same cause as a vehicle or a conduit for personal gain while building systems to serve their own power financially and control-wise. The question for all of us, left, right, center, or none of that, is whether we are going to demand transparency from these institutions before they complete this digital apparatus. I don't think that we can do anything about that because we'd be foolish to think that we could control the outcome and endgame of a digital surveillance state. There's too many powerful people, way too invested. Once it's built, asking questions will become a lot harder. And we're lucky to be here today, genuinely. Think about where we were less than 10 years ago. The country felt like it was falling apart, and it's starting to feel like that again. Candace Owens recently said that every 4 years, there's this vicious cycle of destroying right down the center, trying to tear us all apart. And somehow we're getting back to that again. The pendulum has swung full circle all the way around the clock. People have woken up, they got manipulated, woke up again, and now got manipulated, and now we're waking up again. BlackRock backed down on DEI. The Durham report exposed the FBI. Nobody got arrested. Grassley pulled back the curtain on Arctic frost. BLM's financial fraud is under investigation, but we're not done, and we're not even close because the same power structures that created that era are not gone. George Soros and all these people are still finding a way. That's not, it's like Doge was not implemented as from Elon Musk into the White House or into the IRS and all these to find just misappropriation of funds. Maybe if you look at it this way, what they were looking to do, why do you think Antifa recently, after Elon Musk left from Doge, why do you think Antifa was designated a terrorist organization? Because they found money, millions, tens of millions of dollars of George Soros funding Antifa, funding riots. Why do people say, you've seen it, haven't you? Oh, I do this for a living. I go out and I protest for a living? You protest for a living. What the hell kind of job is that? I mean, geez, I guess if you need money that bad, but I don't even think that's worth it. You're selling your soul. And that's why this channel exists, because the same power structures that created that era, again, are not gone. That's why I pull documents and I show receipts. That's why I follow the money. That's why we ask the questions that make powerful people uncomfortable, because receipts don't lie. The Form 990s don't lie. Like numbers don't lie. You can't beat the numbers, and the numbers can't beat you. You have to remember that. If you're into any game or if you're into any numbers-based strategy of any type, like for me, it was poker, it was sales. It's always in this, you can't beat the numbers and the numbers can't beat you. When I say why poker, because if you're a good enough player and you know how to play the game properly with the game theory strategy and exploitative like strategy along with it, you can win, but you always have swings. Okay. But ultimately, if you do things the right way, you will win long term. You will take losses, but you will win long term. They know that because, again, if you follow the money, you'll find the truth. I mean, again, when we look at the history of how much money, if you've seen my videos, which I'm sure most of you have, TPUSA has moved in and around all of these organizations, vendors, contracts, and the things that they're doing. You've got mothers on boards, friends owning companies, doing business with them nonstop, tens of millions of dollars. Erica Kirk met Charlie in 2018. And Bill Montgomery was a part of the organization up until 2018. He started the organization with Charlie Kirk. 2016, 7.89 million. 2017, a nice gradual increase. This is an expense to, so like how much they spent versus how much they raised, right? And in a nonprofit, you need to spend money because that's part of the mission, right? But I was trying to track in like essentially a combination of how much money was spent while they're bringing in a certain amount of money, and then when did that money start? And the money really started when Charlie Kirk met Erica and when they kicked out Bill Montgomery. It all happened within the same period, within the same year. And you can see it, 14.8 million. So we went almost double from the year before to 15 million from 8.9. Then we doubled from there, more than doubled, almost tripled, 2019. Then we went again, a double from 40 million to 80 million in 2020. And then 2021, 80 to 106 million. Can I do this? Why is it? Whatever. I guess 120 million and change in 2022. And then in 2023, 132 million. 2024, I think it might have gone down a little bit. And then in 2025, we know in 2025, it must have been like $300 million plus. We're going to find out. Oh, I can't wait to find out. So this is the money flow diagram. How $132 million in donor funds flows through TPUSA just in 2 years. Donor contributions, 132.4 million. Total revenue for fiscal year 2023 to 24 from individual donors, corporations, and grants. TPUSA Central. Total expenses. Money out, top destinations. Resource One, a printing and publication. Largest single vendor payment. Mosaic, which I think that they are legit. They do the massive events. Active Engagement, American Solutions, Employee Connected Entities, 12.5 million in 2 years, right? Conflict of interest. And they exploded. They were already at $7.9 or $8 million, and they grew 1,600% from there up until 23. We haven't put in 24 and 25 into this graph yet. They're spending 97% of their money, but they're not spending it in a humble, honest way. You're enriching, what it looks like to me is enriching insiders, taking private jets everywhere you go, multiple people. Okay, whether or not, maybe you have somebody that is letting you take their plane and whatever, fine, I guess. But somebody's got to pay for the gas. I mean, unless you're doing, so if you have a plane and you're letting somebody fly on it, are you doing that for free? Because I know you're spending a couple $100,000 a year to fly one person. So what do you expect in return for that? 44.8 million in independent contractors with 12.5 just over these few years. I have questions. Why are employee connected entities receiving million in donor funds? Why do some vendors receive both contract payments and fundraising fees? What oversight exists from these expenditures? And are donors aware that their money flows to employee controlled companies? I want to know. What else we got? Oh, fundraiser double dipping. This is a good one. I need to plug in Turning Point Action because there's a lot of money on Turning Point Action going around. Conflict of interest alert. Multiple entities connected to TPUSA employees receive payments from donor funds in 2 ways. Stream 1, independent contractor payments for services. Stream 2, fundraising fees as professional fundraisers. This is double compensation from the same donor pool. Fundraiser gross receipts versus retained fees. And this is like limited because it only has Turning Point USA. But if you have a fundraiser that you're paying a salary, why are they taking why are they taking a commission on their own companies? This is, I think, yeah, this is Sheridan and Hoffman. Take a look at this. So year over year payments, insider connected payment growth with key events. You've got, let's see what we got. Sheridan is in orange. RallyForge and 110 LLC is in blue. And then you have their compensation. RallyForge banned in 2020, okay, from Facebook for coordinated and authentic behavior. And they received, RallyForge received $1.8 million for Turning Point Action. 2.264 million. I mean, the numbers are crazy, dude. And then you have, this is their compensation. So I guess their commission here. This was before I found out about GSM Strategies, Sheridan Companies. Look at this. So if you were to look at the amount of money that had been received, these are like connected vendors or employees, but key ones that I've selected. So you've got Tyler Boyer and Charlie Kirk. They are a small fraction. And look at how much Stacey Sheridan, without the additional multi dollars that I found in Stacey Sheridan. Look at how much this company has brought in. Look at Olympic Media taking 73.6 or 7% of donations as fees. They've taken $4 million in fundraising fees. RallyForge 110 LLC. It's more than this. It's 7. It's closer to 7, I think. But it covers both of their blocks. This covers both of these blocks plus some. I mean, what is going on, man?